I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got
What's
to
up,
understand.
everybody? Welcome to Prime Sports Media. I'm your host. Let's get at it right now. One of the things I want to say is thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel. We're at 11,000 now and still going up. I also want to give a shout out to Michael Irvin, who showed up in Colorado, gave some inspirational thoughts to the young men at Colorado. I thought it was fantastic. Him and Coach Prime hanging out. I want y'all to hear a little bit of this right now. Just a little tab.
All you got to do is sharpen your skill. But in our game, it's a hand-to-hand, man-to-man combat. I have to sharpen my skill. At the same time, I have to deepen my will. I'm not punching people away.
Fantastic. Fantastic. As we know that Michael Irvin is a Hall of Famer, all-time Hall of Famer, football player, played with Dallas for all those years, Super Bowl wins, Miami as well, the iconic Miami team. And him and Coach Prime have been great friends for a very long time, so it's great to see him come down there and motivate. Now, this is one of the things that I want to do with this particular video today, everybody, is that I'm primarily going to focus on what I think is an area that people should not sleep on, and that's Shilo Sanders. I think Shilo Sanders has great leadership skills. He has the skills that you need, the tangibles that you need on a football team when it comes to motivating. And he said it himself that one of the areas that they want to really humper down on is being in alignment with one another, being on the same page. And him playing at safety, cornerback, whatever you want, I think he gives them great intimidation in the secondary, great ability. Now, look, when Shilo played originally, when he played his college ball at South Carolina, where he played for 2 seasons and he was a redshirt freshman, one of the things that they said about him is that he had great, solid ball skills and that he had very good top speed. He could get around, he could roam in that secondary. That's what you're going to need out of that young man, Shilo Sanders, is the ability to roam, get all over the place, get physical. He's a very physical defensive back, and that's what you need because they're getting ready to go against TCU, and you need that physical component that he brings, plus his experience, the tangibles that you really can't teach. People are either born leaders or not. He has that leadership skills. He has that dog in him. And you know, being raised by his father, Coach Prime, you know where he's getting a lot of these elements from in his personality and the way he carries about. Now, this is a perfect match with Coach Charles Kelly. You're familiar with Charles Kelly here. Here he is right here. And Charles Kelly originally, when he was at the Pac-12 Media Day, said that their job is to work to make the best roster for the University of Colorado, and we don't apologize for that. That was from Charles Kelly, the defensive coordinator of your Colorado Buffs. He said that, and of course you know why he said that, ladies and gentlemen, because of all the haters out there questioning Coach Prime whether he should have did what he did, revamping the roster. And his son coming over from Jackson State was a form of revamping the roster. Remember, there was some controversy over whether Shilo was going to come to Colorado or not. That was all nonsense. He said it himself. He was always going to come to Colorado. He was just taking care of his business at Jackson State, like graduating, getting a degree. And he's going to bring a certain level of, I believe, energy, stardom that they need in that secondary. I'm saying right now, he needs to start. He should start. He's got great experience coming out of South Carolina, where he played his college football before transferring to Jackson State. Here he is in an All-American game. He was in the All-American game coming out of high school, coming out of Prime Academy, okay, having all the right stuff. And Coach Prime, this young man, look, Coach Prime putting together a great roster. His son, Shilo Sanders, are a part of what they got cooking up. I'm going to say to you right now, he's got to start. He's got to start day one to bring the thunder, to bring the ability. Here comes the thunder now. to bring the thunder, to bring the intimidation factor, to bring, I'm going to say again, the leadership factor. Day one. Remember, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to break some things down for you. He was originally a lot of the guys on this roster have football experience. Originally, Shilo Sanders, who you see to the far left with the football in hand, was originally recruited, went to South Carolina in 2019 as a red shirt freshman. Okay. And this is where the pedigree goes this far. Like father, like son, wearing the number 21, has the ball skills, the top speed to get out there and cover. Now, let's go back, look at some more thumbnails here. Here he is at one of the media day or press conference at South Carolina, which is in the SEC. That's big time football, as you know. Here he is in uniform, wearing a Gamecocks uniform. Here, now, one of the things that I want people to recognize about Shilo Sanders is that the physicality. Here he is right here on a tackle, okay, against Vanderbilt in the SEC. This young man is a tackler, will get after you at all costs, okay? We should not underestimate him. I want y'all to watch a small clip. And before I play this small clip, this is fair use, fair use, fair use. Under federal law, allowing citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion picture, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use, and is allowed for the purpose of criticism, news reporting, teaching, parody, which does not infringe on the copyright under 17 USC 107. This is what Coach Charles Kelly is getting, because Coach Charles Kelly runs, as we know, a very difficult defensive system. Okay? Now, let me give you a little taste of what he did at South Carolina in a particular game. He puts the hit on people. Here we go. And he will put the wood on you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to put Coach Charles Kelly back up here again and let you know what his pedigree is with being matched up with Charles Kelly, who once at one point in time was the associate defensive coordinator and safeties coach with Alabama, with Nick Saban. Coach Kelly was also previously the defensive coordinator at Florida State, where we know Coach Prime played his college football. This is fantastic. Now, let me let you know what else Shilo has engaged in as a football player. Now, not only is he intelligent on the football field, but when he was at South Carolina, he was also all freshman in terms of academics. So we're dealing with a very intelligent young man. Both him and his brother, very intelligent. Okay, but this is the intangibles that he brings. When he was at Jackson State, this young man made incredible plays. Now look, let me give you his Jackson State numbers. In the 2 years that Shilo Sanders played at Jackson State, he recorded 59 tackles, 12 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles in his 2 years at Jackson State. Okay? And one of the things that he did at Jackson State, once again, showed leadership, showed intimidation factor, and Colorado is getting that this year. My prediction is that this is going to be a breakout year for Shilo Sanders. I think that with him being healthy, he has said himself, and I'm going to play an audio for you from him, that he is feeling more healthy than he ever has felt, which means You put him with Charles Kelly, a man who has experience as an associate defensive coordinator at Alabama. They won national championships. Plus, he was a safety coach there. Plus, having his pedigree and style of defensive coordinating at Florida State. And now you give him a young man, you give him good personnel. They changed the roster over, and you give him someone like Shilo Sanders, who understands the game of football. He's a roamer. He's a hitter. He's a thumper. I'm going to say again, I'm going to say this because, yes, he does have sort of that fashion where he wants to thump you. Boom, right? And you know it's very important to wrap up in tackles. Shilo can do that and will do that. But let me let you hear something from Jackson State where the intimidation factor became a factor. Check him out when he says this to everybody in that locker room. He says, you're going to get your head knocked off. For those of you out there that ain't on defense, I think he said it like this. We're going to play it. If you're not on defense, you're playing receiver, you're playing that kind of position, you're going to get your head knocked off. That's that Ronnie Lott intimidation factor. Check out Shilo Sanders right here. Just a little taste of this right here.
If you don't start on offense and you play receiver or running back, you get your head knocked off today. And they have a problem with that? Hey, Trav.
Woo! So basically he was saying, if you're not a starter on offense, you're going to get your head knocked off. That's the intimidation factor. And you had folks in the locker room saying, if you got a problem with what Shilo Sanders said, then you got a problem with me. So that kind of energy, that enthusiasm, that confidence, right? You got to be, this is football. You got to be a little cocky. You got to have some confidence. You can't, this is not a game of just being a scary cat. You got to get out there because the next man out there on the field is going to try to knock your head off too. So I think Shilo has these kind of intangibles where he goes out there. I'm going to say again, both him and his brother, I think, are built for this. People are doubting because they played at a HBCU in the SWAC. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean anything. If you can play football, it doesn't matter where you play. If you can tackle, if you got intelligence for the game, if you understand how to read defenses on the defensive side, how to read the defense as a quarterback. Let me say this in terms of Shilo Sanders. If you know how to read offense as a defensive back in terms of Shilo Sanders, you can do that anywhere. And if you got the physical skills, the will, and the belief, you can be successful. So all of that I'm not buying into. People want to question, oh, they didn't play. This man can tackle big time SEC football. This is where Shilo got his beginnings, really going back to Prime Academy with his father at Prime Academy out there in Texas. So this is what the young man is capable of doing. And I think that we can't sleep on this. He's a very humble young man. You can see that he was here, right here, with Michael Irvin when Michael Irvin was out there motivating everybody. A little taste of this again.
I'm not just talking on game day. It starts out here. Game day is the fun time.
Game day is the fun time.
It's the work time. These practices, you got to get something out of them. When you go in, when I got ready to play or we got ready to play, the best way I can make sure I beat Jerry Rice is to get Deion ready. So let's go, man. We got to work. I know you got. I need you to shut down Jerry Rice. I got to get you ready right here, right now. That's what you guys should do.
All right, everybody. So look, it is great to have someone like Michael Irvin there to motivate someone like Shilo Sanders, a great player that he is. I'm looking forward to what he's bringing to the table. But let me play. I want to play something else for you. This is Shilo in practice. During the fall camp practice. And I'm just saying he is physical. He likes to get physical with people, bring people down very harshly. This is what you need on a football team. Check him out right here, everybody. Whoa. So that you see how he sort of just brought that guy down, physically brought him down. That's what he brings, and that's what you need in a secondary, especially if he's going to play and ball out and play safety. The question is, I believe, you should believe, he's got to start. He's got to be the man that starts. Okay? This is a man that when he played at Jackson State, as I said before, he recorded 59 tackles, 5 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, okay? And just his 2 years, 12 pass deflections. And also probably forgot to mention this, that Shilo was an All-SWAC second team in 2021. Fantastic stuff. But this is the thing that I want to bring to your attention about brother Shilo Sanders, because this is the factor. Let's hear him in his own words. I'm going to quote something that he said in a press conference that he had, where he said, "I play good, then that's average." Shilo said this, "So I have to be great." His whole idea is that he has to be great. He has to strive for it right now. That's what he said. But I want you to hear what he had to say in his own voice, his own statements at his press conference. It was more like a camp. It was doing a camp, and the press was there asking him questions about how things are going with the defense and what have you. And let's hear what the young man has had to say right now.
Defense getting everything together, cleaning some stuff up, getting ready for this game next week. Everybody's more locked in, I feel like, this week than, any other week, because it's winding down. It's time to go soon. We're almost ready to go. Man, I feel so good right now, because last year I was coming off an injury in the spring. So this whole time,
it's very important, everybody, that when he played at Jackson State and recorded those 59 tackles, those 12 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles, he was not completely healthy in those 2 years, or at least one of those years. So now you're getting a Shilo Sanders who is saying that he feels the best that he has felt in a very long time. Let's hear that again.
Man, I feel so good right now, because last year I was coming off an injury in the spring. So this whole time, I feel like this is the smartest, the strongest, the fastest I've ever been, especially being coached by Coach Kelly and our staff. And I got my dad, Coach Prime, up here, so they're always teaching us hustling to the ball, effort, and, just the stuff that really makes a difference between good and great, because I'm trying to be great. So,
what's the biggest challenge that you guys face as a defense to get ready for the season?
Not really challenged. We got a lot of new players, so just everybody getting on the same page. We're running a pro defense, with Coach Kelly's playbook. So, we have to play like pros. So just getting everybody on the same page, just doing all that. I wouldn't say it's the biggest challenge, but we're working towards it. I don't know. He's a motivation guy. He wakes up motivated, dog. So, he always wants us to go 100. Like today in practice, he had us running. We ran 700 yards, 700. So I feel like that was, a little unnecessary. But, Coach Prime wakes up motivated, and he has a gold jacket that he didn't buy. He's in the Hall of Fame, so he knows what it takes to be great.
How fun is it just playing in your room every day? It seems like it's really deep. You guys could play 3 safeties if you wanted just about every snap on the field.
Yeah, it's fun, but, it's fun in winning. So that's what we're focused on, just doing our job, and it makes it really easy when everybody's on the same page.
What have you seen so far from him on your playing development?
He's doing good. He's doing good. In the summer he was getting tired and stuff, but he's getting more in shape right now. He's doing better and better every week, so he's going to be a great player.
How energized are you by the people around you? Not only Cam, but Trevor, even the linebackers. Are you energized by the talent around you?
Oh, man, we just like competing. That's what gets me going every day, because, football's hard. Even reporting's hard. Everything's hard. So if you're doing something, you just got to be motivated. I like competition, so that's what I'm motivated by. So that's what keeps us energized. And when you're around other people that like competition also, then we just feed off each other.
We talked to Coach Bill Boyle last week. He said that the guys are getting into TCU stuff this week. Are you experiencing that as well, and what does that look like?
Man, I've been watching them, but now coaches are, you know, starting to show us more of what they do. So it's great.
What's your early analysis of that team?
I mean, we're here to dominate. You know, that's how we're thinking. That's how we're preparing. We're not preparing just to win, because that's not really enough. Because I mean, you see all our coaches, we're great, so they expect greatness out of us. That's Travis over there being loud.
I asked Shador this a couple weeks ago, and he said it's nice to have you on the other side as compared to the spring where it was just him, just kind of the energy that both of you bring and kind of talking trash to the other side. Have you kind of experienced that as well, and just kind of going back and forth with him every day?
You know, that's my brother, so of course, like, we talk the most junk, we cuss each other out before practice and all that. But it's going back to what I said about competing, like that's what we like to do. So whenever he sees me, he knows that I'm like that. I know he likes competing too, so it just raises the bar for both of us.
Does that rub off on the rest of the team as well, do you see?
I hope so. But we got some dogs though, so I think it does.
Coach Kelly mentioned that you have a mature approach to the game. How would you kind of elaborate more on that and what you bring to the table?
I just been around good coaching. So whenever he finally got to coach me, he's like, you know, I could work with this guy because he knows a little something, and I just understand what he's the ideas he has. I understand what he's trying to get to, and I understand the reason that he does certain things. That's why I ask him a lot. I ask him a lot of questions, but it's so I could understand, be on the same page as him, so I could be like an extension of him on the field, you know.
How does practicing against an offense at tempo and speed help the defense while conditioning and generate the tempo?
Well, we like playing fast as a defense. Like, I don't know if you guys know who we got out there, but we're a really fast defense and we play quick. So after the play's done, we're always looking for the call, getting lined up. So I mean, it really doesn't, tempo doesn't really mean nothing to us, but I mean, there's some cons if your offense running tempo, and we're going to exploit all those if anyone wants to run tempo against us.
Last question. What's impressed you so far about
What I thought was fantastic is that you hear Shilo Sanders say clearly out of his mouth that we're built to go against teams that want to run fast tempo, that we're quick, we're fast, we've got some dogs out there, we've got some athletes, and if you try to run it, we're going to be ready. So that's what I'm talking about. You need someone like a Shilo Sanders on this football field that gives that type of, has that kind of attitude, that chip on the shoulder, that we're going to win. We're going to win now. Just like his father, Coach Prime, and has confidence, confident about who he is, what he can do. And he's also saying that, hey, everybody's got to step up. We got to be on the same page. And just a warning to everybody out there, if you try to run fast tempo on us, we got something for you. We're ready for you. I think that's fantastic. Again, Shilo Sanders. Shilo Sanders is coming strong, saying everything right, being who he is, being confident in who he is, and I gotta really appreciate that. So this is why, in my estimation, that this should be and will be a breakout year for Shilo. I want you all to give me an honest comment in the comment section of this video and let me know what your opinion are about Shilo Sanders in terms of football. Will this be a breakout year for him? Will he be an impact? And the reason why I say he should be an impact is because he's more healthier than he's been in the past. He's motivated. He's got a great coach in Charles Kelly, who's leading the way. I'm going to put him back up here again. I'm going to say it again. Great coaching. Yes, Charles Kelly, who's the defensive coordinator, who has great experience at the big time level, okay, in SEC football, along as well as at Florida State. And he feels that working with great coaching and having great players around him can only lead to great things. Let's not forget the greatness of his father and how his father motivates the team and can also motivate his sons. He knows how his sons tick, so he knows what exactly to say to them to make things really pop. Okay, I look for great things for these two young men, Shilo Sanders at quarterback, Shilo, because they're going up against a team that was in the national championship not too long ago. They have lost some players, but they're up to the challenge. Colorado's up to the challenge. You know TCU is going to probably try to bring their best. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I want to thank you again for watching this video, subscribing to this channel, share this in your social media, all your social media, share it in your community tab if you're a content creator. Thank you for getting this channel to 11,000 and still going up. And we're going to keep doing this just like this. And I appreciate you all out there. Shilo Sanders, I'm going to say again, he says he's thriving for greatness. Okay, striving for right now greatness, and that's what they need on this football team. So with that said, let's get ready to get on out of here. I really respect everybody out there. Peace, everybody.
We're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand, we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand, we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win.